Okay, Math 2, Unit 14, Lesson 1, Venn diagrams and two-way tables. Remember when I gave the packet out last week, we only did the first page of worksheet 1. There are still 2 more pages inside. There's the second, there's the third. So these are the notes we're going to do right now. The first part we did together in class. The rest I'm giving you as notes, and then you can finish the worksheet. Okay, you guys have seen Venn diagrams before, correct? Elementary school? Yes, you have. Middle school? Okay, let's write this down. Use a Venn diagram to display the following situation. Okay, and I am going to call this one. Use a Venn diagram to display the following situation. Number 1. "50 students are surveyed whether they have a cat or dog at home." Okay, it's no other pets, just cat or dog. That's the only 2 pets on the survey, cat or dog. So if you have a bird or a fish or a reptile, it's not on the survey. All right, cat or dog at home. 30 students have a dog. 25 have a cat. Okay. Before I go further, did anybody else catch what he caught? You were thinking about it. Anybody else thinking, caught it, see it now, what he's talking about? Okay, where's the concern coming from? Yes?
What if they have like 3 dogs?
Okay, good question. 50 people are surveyed, just cats or dogs. So if you have 3 dogs, you're just marking the dog column. If you have 10 cats, you're just marking the cat. So it's not how many animals, it's just cat or dogs. Yes? Okay, so not necessarily 5 because I didn't get that information, but first off, you realize there's more than 50. Yes? And she said there's a possibility that some people have both. On Venn diagrams, are there sometimes overlap? Do you think some households have a cat and a dog? I do not. I have only a dog. Do any of you have a cat and a dog? Or cats and dogs? There you go. So there are some households that overlap. Okay, so let's continue. Of these, 10 have both. Of these 10 have both. No. She said 5. I said we don't know that yet because we don't have the information. And we'll see how it works. Okay. So let's draw our box shape. Please stop the talking. I am going to shift that over to the left just a smidge because I'm going to ask some questions on the right side. Okay, so let's figure out. So is there overlap? 10 have both. Is there overlap in this Venn diagram? Yes, there is not always going to be overlap, but there is overlap in this problem. Okay, we'll call the first one dog, the second circle cat, and we'll put dogs, cats, because they could have more than one. Okay. when we start a Venn diagram, you always start with the overlap first. You always want to do that first and then fill in the rest of it as you go. So how many have both the cats and dogs? 10. All right. So does everybody agree where we got, or understand where I got the 10 from? Yes? Next piece, how many had dogs? 30. Okay, here's a mistake kids make. I'm going to write with pencil because I'm going to erase it. If you're writing with pen, do not write it. They do that. Can anybody tell me why that is a mistake? Yes. We have to subtract it because right now, ignore the cat side. Look at the dog's big circle. How many people do I have? How many students together do I have in the dog circle? 40. Is that how many people like dogs or have dogs? No, she said we have to subtract. So 30 take away 10, what should go there? What is it? 20. Okay, so 20 plus 10, does it add up to 30? All right, with that being said, is it going to be safe to put the 25 in the cat spot? No, because 25 and 10 is not 25. What do I do? 15, how did you guys get the 15? 25 minus 10, and over here you did 30 minus 10. Okay, so make sure you understand that. Now, will you please add those three numbers together? What's 20 plus 10 plus 15? What does it add up to? 55. Is it 55? 45? Okay. It is 45. Any thoughts? 5 have neither. She is correct. So we put it outside in this corner. And it doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's not in the circles. Okay. Okay. So how many have only dogs? How many have only cats? How many have both? How many have neither a cat or a dog? How many have dogs? All just dogs. 30. How many have cats? Okay. Do you guys understand how to read the data? Yes? All right. So here are the type of questions you're going to have. Let's write this down over here. If one student is selected at random, what is ... Okay, question A. I'm going to put P for probability. Probability parentheses, have a cat but no dog. Let's write that down. Have a cat but no dog equals blank. And you will need calculators. So you can take your own calculators out if you don't have one. If one person from each group can quickly pick some up. So count who needs them in your group. At random. Just want to see if you were paying attention. Good job.
I always pay. What? I am? Am I matching? I didn't even try. I just put on some.
What did she say? You look what?
These guys are like my stylists.
I'm not. But there's certain days that like he's not matching. Obviously, like when he's a blue shirt and like burgundy shoes, and it's like Dante, that doesn't match. I wear the same 2 things every day. I'm literally not even trying. And then we went back and I only have 2 pieces.
How am I? Okay, tell me what I'm matching.
Okay. Later. Okay, have a seat. Have a seat. Shh. Guys. Okay. Now we are ready. Everyone has their calculators. Okay, guys, what's the probability the student would have a cat but no dog? What would that be? How many people have cats but no dogs? 25 or 15? So 15 out of how many total? How many total? 50. You guys, if they didn't give you that 50, they just gave you this chart, could you add up all 4 numbers and get 50? Okay, you do have to reduce. 15 divided by 50. What goes into both 15 and 50? Excuse me, and what does that give you? 3/10. Any questions? If you wanted to, could you change it to a decimal? 15 divided by 50 is 0.3. You do not have to write, it's either this one here or this one. You don't need to write both. I do not want the original fraction circled or boxed in or written in the answer column. This is part of your work for now, but on the test, this is in your workspace and you give me either one of these two in the column for the answers. Got it? Okay, part B. No cat or dog. So probability, so put a P. No cat or dog. Meaning they have neither a cat or a dog. And Becca helped us with that. Yes?
Say on top of 0.3. Like the two little numbers.
That right there?
Yeah, what is that?
That was or. Okay. How many people here have no cats or dogs at home? 5 out of 50. Reduce it or decimal it. What does 5 over 50 reduce to? 1 over what? 10 or 0.1. Do you have to write both the decimal and the fraction? You pick what you're most comfortable with. Jackson, what are you most comfortable with? Fractions? Okay. Anyone more comfortable with decimals? Yes, and it's your choice. Okay. Questions here at all? None? Okay. We're not done with notes. Everybody hear that? We're still going to do a number 2. But I want you guys to quickly take this back out. I told you guys we were going to use it. And I want us to try number 3. Only because it's a little different from what we did. And I want to go over the difference between the two. Everybody have their packet open to number 3. It's the back of the front page. Are we ready? Okay. 20 students are taking Math 2 during 3rd period, and 40 students are taking Math 1 during 3rd period. Complete a Venn diagram. Okay. If a student is taking Math 2 during 3rd period, and a different student is taking Math 1 during 3rd period, can one student be taking both Math 2 and Math 1 at the same time during the same period? Yes or no? No. A student cannot be in 2 separate classes, Math 1 and Math 2 during the same period. Do you agree? They shouldn't be in it the same year at all either, but if it happened, it would never happen during the same period. Okay, so on this Venn diagram, would we have the 2 circles overlapping like we did here? Yes or no? No. There would be no overlap. It would look like this. These events are called mutually exclusive. To be in one, you cannot be in the other. If you are in Math 2 during 3rd period, you cannot also be in Math 1 during 3rd period. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, so we'll put here Math 2 and here Math 1. Okay, how many students are in the Math 2 during 3rd period? 20. Thank you, it's right there. How many are in the Math 1? Okay, and that's all the information they gave us, correct? Okay. it didn't say that so many kids are in either of these classes. This is it. So how many kids did they sample to figure out how many were in Math 1 and Math 2? 60. Okay. Of these 60, how many, or what's the probability if one student is selected, what's the probability the person is in Math 1? How many Math 1s do we have? 40 out of what? 40 out of 60? Which as a fraction reduces to what? 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. Or percentage people, 0 point. Let's round that to 2 decimal places. 0.67 or 66? 67. Okay. What's the probability the person is in Math 2? How many Math 2 people do we have? What is it? 20 out of 60, which reduces to 6. 2 to 6, which reduces to 1 over. Okay, that reduces to, I heard it 1/3. 1/3, or 1/3 is 0.33. Or you can put the bar at the top as well. Okay, questions? No questions? Okay, so do Venn diagrams always have overlap? No. No overlap. This one did have overlap. Okay, let's do number 2. Look at the title of your notes. What's the one thing I've not yet gone over? Two-way tables. Okay. Complete the table. And if you have like a pencil and a pen, that would be great, or you can borrow one from someone in your group. So you can write down the given information in a pen and your work in pencil, or vice versa. You don't have to, it's just a suggestion. Okay, title of the table is, what is your favorite sport to watch on TV? What is your favorite sport to watch on television, TV? Okay, please stop. And the only choices are football and basketball. Okay, now I know there's baseball and there's any other number of sports, but this is all we're dealing with for this survey. Okay, so what do we have? Football, basketball, and total. And the two different people we're going to ask are males and females. Male and female. And this down here is going to be total. Okay, so they asked a number of males, they asked a number of females, which sport do you like, which sport are these two, which would you rather watch, football or basketball? And here are some of the results. So I would put this in a different color than whatever you're working with, so that when you check your notes, you know what was given information and what you figured out on your own. I'm going to give you this first number here is 40. And the bottom number down here, the total football, I'm going to give you is 52. I'm going to go to the basketball column in the middle. I'm going to give you a 45. I'm going to go to the total column, and I'm going to give you the last two. This one is 57, and this is 120. Okay, now after you write this down, change to a different color again. So when you look at your notes, you know what was given, which ones you figured out. Or circle them. Circle the ones that you haven't figured out. That's another option. These are the ones you're trying to figure out. Okay, wait, listen. How many people were surveyed altogether? Total people? 120. All right, start figuring out some numbers. Best you can. Talk to each other. Than what we're doing right now.
It's so easy, and then you read like keep something else, and it's really hard.
Like the third lesson is where it's not hard, really hard. It's just there's an extra step involved, and that might be where the complications happen. But these right here will be on the test as well.
You know what we should do? We should do like one of these, but like with an art class.
Like actually do a survey.
Yeah. Please don't read about sports. I don't know anything about
All right.
Where'd it go? What's 27 plus 45? Do you know it?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you. What's 7 plus 5?
12.
Okay. And what was it? 20 and 4? 4 plus 2? And carry the 1?
27 plus 45. Would be
70.
4.
No, you said 2 earlier. Okay, do we have our numbers? Okay. Desi, give me the first number you found and how. Okay, right here? Okay, guys, I can barely hear her. She said 12. Do you guys agree with her? Yes or no? Yes? Can you tell me how she got the 12? 52 minus 40 is 12 because these two have to add up to 52. Do you guys agree with him? Yes? Okay. Next one. Carrie, tell me which one you found next.
the one in between the 52 and the 120.
So this one right here.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you found this one?
I did 120 minus 52.
120 minus 52, and that gave you?
68.
Everyone else get the same thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes? Okay. Diego, tell me what you found next.
23 for basketball game.
Can you tell us how you found the 23?
63 subtracted
68 minus 45. Do you guys agree? Yes? Miranda, what did you get here for this total?
I got 63.
Can you tell me how you found the 63?
I did the total 120 minus 57, and I got
Okay, did everybody hear her? She said 120 minus 57 got 63. Did everybody do the same thing? What's one thing we can do to double check this, make sure all our numbers are correct? Yes? Is there a hand up? Add these two? Is 40 plus 23, that should be 63, is it? Okay, any questions on this chart? All right, so here are the questions. If one person is chosen at random, do I have to write that? Do you guys understand? If one person is chosen at random, what's the probability the person is a female? So remember, it's total. It's favorable out of total. How many total people do we have? Of those 120, how many are female? Do you agree we go right here? 57. You're going to reduce that. I will tell you right now that 3 goes into both the 57 and the 120. And if you would rather use decimals, you can convert it to a decimal. Has anybody divided by 3? 19 over 40. And what does that give you as a decimal? Point what? Try it again. Try 57 first. 57 divide 120. 0.475, or if it's two decimal places, 47 or 48? 48. Okay. Next, okay, questions on that one? So would you say close, looking at the numbers, does this point or 0.48 seem right? That's close to half, a little less than half. Looking at these numbers, is the female number a little less than half of 120? What's half of 120? Is 57 a little less than 60? Make sense? Okay, next one. What's the probability the person likes football? Are we still dealing with the total of 120? Yes? Are we going along horizontally, going across this way, or going downward vertically to look for the number of football watchers? Okay, so how many football watchers do I have total? 52 out of 120. Go ahead and reduce it. You can at least divide by 2. Maybe even something bigger, maybe 4, or divide by 2 twice, or change it to a decimal. 52 divide 120 if you're doing it as a decimal. Those of you that reduced it, 13 over what? Over 30? Or decimal people, 0.43? Okay, how many of you have calculators like this? Either whether it's your own or one of mine. Oh, actually, you don't have one of mine because I didn't hand them out today. Anyone have one of these of your own? These do reduce for you. Did you guys know that? Does anybody want me to show you how? No? You don't want to see how? Okay. First thing you have to do is find your fraction key. Listen, my fraction key is right, let me use a different color, right there. And it says N over D. Your fraction key might look like this, A, B, C. And it might be in the same area up here. Everybody see their fraction key? So you just type the top number, 52, and then your fraction key. It may look like a fraction, it may look like a comma. If it looks like a comma, it's still the fraction key. So 52 fraction key 120, hit equals, and 13 over 30 pops up. Does that work on any of yours? Did any of you try it? 15 fraction 120. It may look like 15 comma 120. It's still a fraction. Equals, did it work? Did any of you guys get it to work? Yes? Good. Okay. Next question. What's the probability the person is a male who likes basketball? What's the probability the person is a male who likes basketball? Okay, is it still out of 120? Yes, how many guys like basketball? Okay, do you agree? I'm no longer looking at the totals. Do you guys see that? I'm looking for the overlap. Here are my males. Here are the basketball watchers. Do 23 of the males watch basketball? Okay, so 23 over 120. Does that reduce? Those of you that have your calculator key, does it reduce? It does not. Those of you that like your decimal, 23 divide 120, or 0. What? 19? Okay, questions? No questions? All right, that's it for this lesson. Go ahead and start your worksheet.